What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. So now usually I make this video, a week or two or even 3 or 4 weeks prior to WrestleMania, but it's been so crazy. It's been so busy with everything lately. I just really haven't had the time to actually make this video, but I'm making it now and I'm posting it out there. So this are my thoughts on WrestleMania thus far. Now, it seems like what really happened is that it seems like the WWE really took a lot of focus on the main event this year. Like they really put everything they had into the main event, Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And then they really ran with that mostly. And everything else just kind of seemed to gradually, very slowly follow along. Like even now, like it's about less than a week into it. Like it's literally in, as of now, as of me posting this video, it's in like 4 days, and they're still putting together matches for it. They're still, confirming matches for it. They're still putting matches together for it. They're still really finalizing everything. And it seems like everything is just kind of thrown together. It seemed like they really focused too much on the main event and building that up and doing everything for that they just kind of forgot about really a lot of the stuff and everything else. And they kind of just wanted WrestleMania to be this big thing. So they kind of were like, oh, hey, we still have Jake Paul under this celebrity contract. Let's just bring him in. Screw it. We'll throw him in something there. And then Johnny Knoxville, we really don't have anything. You know what I mean? So it just seems like everything's just kind of really thrown together, like last minute. And seems like they really didn't have very many ideas. They didn't really have anything huge. So they were just like, okay, well, we got a main event, which they seem to, like I said, really be focusing on that, really hoping that the main event sells WrestleMania this year. And then, of course, obviously, Ronda Rousey's match, they kind of put, everything else they had to kind of into that. And I mean, even the tag team matchups, they just kind of seem thrown together. And it was just like, hey, what can we do for the tag team division? I don't know. These are our three main, Raw tag team. There's like the tag team division is terrible, so they're probably just like the three tag teams we got on Raw. Let's just throw them all in a match together. The thrown together tag team. Let's just throw them with the Usos, and you know what I mean. Like the match quality is just not there like it is usually every other year. Usually every other year by this point in time, I'm pretty excited for it, but this year I'm just kind of really not, because of that fact, because like there's really no match I'm really excited for, except for there's only one matchup that I'm excited for, and that's just because it's a rumor. It's just Seth Rollins rumored to be against Cody Rhodes, and that's why I'm more excited for that one, is because I'm an AEW fan. Not really a WWE fan, but a big WrestleMania guy, and that I go to a WrestleMania party every year. It's this whole huge thing. But so that's really kind of the match that I'm excited for. Even that matchup, it would have been really nice to have some hype and some lead up into that, versus just kind of like Seth Rollins being like, trying to get into WrestleMania and demanding a match and whatever, and then Vince McMahon finally being like, oh, you could have just said you wanted a match. Well, I'll give you a match. And then, so it would have been nicer if it is Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes actually come out, and then them doing, a little bit of a build up, a little bit of a storyline. Because, I mean, this way it just seems kind of like, there's no rapport, there's no storylines, there's no build up. It's just two random people meeting in a ring and just wrestling. Unless the match itself is truly amazing and truly great, which it has all the potential to be if that's the actual match. it'll be awesome, but I mean, if it doesn't, it's just a big fail because, like I said, like there's no real storyline, and that's essentially what you're selling because it's WWE, it's entertainment, right? It's not really they're not really selling you on the wrestling; they're selling you more on the entertainment value of it, and there's no real entertainment value there. It's just people are just hyped because it's possibly Cody Rhodes. We don't know, right? Like that's really the only reason people are hyped for this match. Like you're not selling anything. There's no entertainment value between these two at this point. It's just him versus a mystery guy. Okay, and then they fight. Then you know what I mean. Like there's no real value there. There's nothing really great there. You know, like I said, like it just seems like really everything just kind of was like, you know, nothing was planned for the year. Basically, they didn't end on WrestleMania last year and we're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, you know, for WrestleMania next year. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, okay, let's build this main event up for this long period of time. What are we gonna do for the rest of the matches? Oh shit, okay, fuck it, let's just do this. You know, like nothing really seems too great. Like the only other really match that really had a D storyline going was, you know, Corbin versus McIntyre. Even then, it's kind of like you have this kind of main card guy who, you know, should be champion again, like just kind of wrestling with this kind of mid carder type guy who kind of is just now. So I mean, yeah, you sold that with a good storyline, this and that, good lead up, you know, there you go. But other than that, it just everything else just fell short. Even the Almost versus, you know, Almighty Bobby Lashley, like that could have been huge. I feel like that could have been like major like headliner. Like that should have been a headliner because that's a huge matchup. But really, it was again just thrown together last minute, and it was just like, fuck, we forgot about Bobby Lashley. What do we do? I don't know. Throw him against the other big black guy. You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of really what it seems like they did. They really seemed like they just had nothing else for either guy, and they were just like, shit, we forgot about Bobby Lashley. Okay, fuck it, throw him with another, you know, big black guy. Like that literally is what they did. Like you could just tell it was like so thrown together, just really poorly done. I think this year so far, I'm really disappointed in WrestleMania coming up to it, and I'm really bummed out about it. But you know, that's the video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and watch, and we'll check the next one.